Okay, so let's return to the campaign. We are in Graayfast City. Today's the day we meet with the Gnomes, I believe. It's a very hot day, July 31st, according to my in-campaign timekeeping. So I'll have to rush that along at some point to get us caught up with the real time, and it's the 11th. So that's pretty crazy, but for right now, it's July 31st in Graayfast. They spent the night at the Frog and King Inn, run by a male halfling. There's a few things I gotta roll and flesh out still to find out who runs the place, but I did find out like the quality is outstanding, so it's gonna cost them a little bit more, as well as the roomers are a little bit higher. Or you got 3 roomers, so we can kind of dive into that later and find out what we need to know there. So first things first, we got a charge for the night. The gang, how much is an outstanding inn gonna cost them, right? So they really splurged on where they were staying tonight. So we go to services page on the player's handbook, page 230. Let's see here. So the services is for the food, drink, and lodging. In stay per day, so they stay the night. It's a outstanding place, so I'm guessing that this is gonna cost them a lot, right? They stayed in the aristocratic area, so that's gonna be 4 gold pieces between or for the both of them. So 8 gold pieces, as well as they got a meal, right? So the aristocratic meal, 6 silver pieces each a piece, so 12. So really, what's the conversion there? Another gold, right? 12 silver pieces. I think the conversion for coins is something like 10 silver pieces is worth 1. So page 213, let's find that out. Silver piece, yeah. 1 silver piece is akin to 1/10 of a gold. So if they had 16 silver pieces, so really it's going to cost them 9 gold. 9.2 gold. So again, Golly's got to take up that because Summer spent all of her money on new armor and stuff, as well as Golly. They got the chainmail and the breastplate, so they kind of splurged. Yeah, she's only got 16 silver pieces left, but that's okay because gives her a reason to need to stay employed. By golly, he's got all the money now. So we're going to take some money off of him, pay for the night, and then they're going to meet up with the gnomes, and they're going to go to get their bounty from the king for clearing the Infinite Burrow dungeon. So they're going to come into some money anyway. So that's why they were like, hey, we know we got some money coming. We're willing to splurge and have a night of it because, hey, we're going to make it up on the back end. Okay, so we're all paid up here. I took it off all of Golly. Now they're gonna go to meet the ruler of Graayfast City, and we're gonna do, because they're in the metropolis. It's daytime. We're gonna follow Paul Bimler's encounter rules again. So roll a d100 rolls per 12 hours. We're gonna have to do 10 rolls when we're in the city if we're moving around, right? So as they travel, we're just gonna do. Maybe we do 3 checks to see if there's anything happening on their way to the king's place, or to meet up with the gnomes, sorry. To meet with the gnomes and then kind of continue on. So, first one is no good. Oh, there is an encounter. I want to get the 3rd one out of the way first. Oh, there are 2 encounters. So 2 things happen on their travels in the morning to meet up with the gnomes, go see the king. So, let's see, we're going to scroll on down to the urban encounters, and we're going to roll the D100 there. On a 14, a giant rat crawls out of a storm drain and gets into a fight with a dog. Now, does our party, anybody like dogs here? Golly's got some good animal handling. And Summer's got some good animal handling. Maybe they want to try and break up the dog fight thing, right? Maybe they like the dog. Maybe they can get a dog on their side, hey? Let's do an intimidation on a rat. I know they got a giant rat here. Actually, let's roll and see what when they get involved here. Boom, on an 18 plus, Summer's going to be like doing intimidation, try to scare off the giant rat maybe. So on a 19, let's have a look at the giant rat stat and see if we can't scare this sucker away. Intimidate him and get him away from that dog. We're dog people here. We like dogs in this household. I got two myself. Got a little pit bull and a little Boston. I think it's like a Boston Frenchie or something. Funny little porky thing. Where are these? Right here. So giant rat we're looking for. They're probably not going to beat that 19, to be honest. I'm just kind of killing time, but let's have a look at the stats for it anyway. You know, we can learn something together. Cat, camel, ape, bat, black bear. No. Oh yeah, R's in the back half of the. Here's a rat, a regular rat. Could just use this stat for now, I guess. And what would be the save against that? Just to learn a few things. We know it's going to fail, right? So a charisma check to see if you're intimidated, I guess. What's their charisma? Charisma's, yeah, charisma. What's their charisma save? Oh, they would take a -3 to the charisma anyway. I believe that's how that would work. So they would just fail. Good job. We scared the rat away from the dog. I guess, does this dog follow us? Is the dog going to tag along now? Is he our best friend? On a 2. No. I know I should be declaring DCs, but we could have declared like an easy DC to make like a 10 or something, and with a 2, it's just not gonna. So the dog runs off. Good job, gang. We saved the dog. From a rat, maybe we feel better about ourselves, but that giant rat's still out there, right? The city might have a lot of rats, might come and get us. So let's do our second encounter. 98. Ooh, this could be a big one. The hundreds are usually high, or like fighting encounters. NPC appears with a quest. We have another questing NPC. Okay. So now this is a long series of rolls where you have to like. Oh, come on, work for me here. That's what I have to do. Where we have to roll for the NPC and then we got to roll for the quest. It's kind of like a big old thing here. But the last time we did this, we got that map to get to the shrine to potentially clear another dungeon, right? So it's a lot of rolls, but it's worth it. So let's go to the random NPC generator. And let's see. So a D100 for the race. Boom. We got an 18 on a 1 to 80. It's a human. So we got a human on a 54. Human. Female. On 82. Oh boy, this is going to be evil. Neutral evil. Lots of evil people in this town, in this city, which I'm starting to think maybe that corrupted shrine that's like north of this city is really having an effect, because I think we had a neutral evil guy give us the map. And now we could be getting like another, like this shrine up here is called the Pantheon of Corruption Shrine. We have a map to get there from the city. But, that one guy who gave it to us, he was evil. And now we have another evil person. Maybe this shrine is corrupting this kind of area, and those people are like maybe they've went there and they've come back and they're starting to corrupt the city. So maybe that could be a quest thing for us. It's like, hey, we got to destroy the shrine or whatever's going on here with the magic, because it's affecting a lot of people. They're getting evil and they're coming this way. And earlier in the campaign, I don't know if anyone remembers in the earlier episodes, we had rolled that there's like an army going to war around here, right? So maybe there's a lot of evil people up in here from the Pantheon, and they could be causing some grief. So maybe a thing for us to do is try to shut this shrine down in some way to stop that, right? But there's also an army in here somewhere, so we'd have to have a look at that. That's for some later time, though. Let's roll on the profession. 98. Oh, it's an adventurer. Cool. I never rolled this category before. So that's kind of fun. We have an adventurer. Could be a potential guy we have to fight then. So maybe we ought to take our time with this guy. If he's going to be an evil guy, he could pop up in our storyline later. So on a 2, a bard. An evil bard. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my time with this guy, write them all down. Let's finish the roll. Sorry, I'm jumping ahead of myself. On a D20 for the level. On a 6, a 1 to 14, he's early levels, so that's good. Let's see, early level, we're going to roll the D20 again. On a 5, he's a level 1 guy. So who knows, he could be affecting our story here. And let's see, let's roll economic status. Who is he? On a 78, 78. We have pity. And he's also extremely wealthy. Pity and extremely wealthy. Or no, roll twice on this table, sorry. Pity and, oops, I tipped it, a 36. He's climbing the ladder. He's got a lot of pity and he's climbing the ladder. Interesting. Okay, so I'm going to write all this down and potentially we can have a little plot thread here with this evil guy. Let's just roll his age quick too, now that I'm writing this stuff down. 69, so many old guys here. 69 years old. He's an old bard. Okay, so neutral evil, human male, level 1 bard, 69 years old. There is a profession table if we wanted to make him, but he is a bard, I guess. You just keep him as a bard. Let's find out what the quest is he has for us. How about that? I can't access my thing up here. Come on. There we go. So let's come over here to the quest generator. What do we have? Quest generator. And we're going to go to quest generation table. And we're going to roll a D100 again. We have a 13. So tyrants, threaten town, business, population, monster, humanoid. Resultant quest, repel, sabotage, deceive. Sabotage, extort, entrap. Okay, so there's a tyrant threatening a town or a business or a population. We'll have to... That could be, I tell you what, for the sake of our story plots we already have, right? What do we have here? So in our other rumors, 1 mile north of Graayfast City, northern wall, a giant eagle belonging to the ruler of Graayfast was shot down by a dragon-born male with a giant ape henchman. This took place in a farmhouse in the hills, hex north of Graayfast. How about that's our tyrant? Our tyrants, we're going to tie this into rumor number 2 that we got from that tavern way back in the earlier episodes, and we're gonna loop this guy back in, right? He's got a giant ape, he's got a dragonborn. He's been running around for like a month already in our game world, right? Unchecked. So he's going to be our tyrant to the north. So within these northern hill hexes, he could be running the army. He could be commanding an army of something up here, causing all kinds of grief. And he'll be our evil guy, the Dragonborn. So that's going to be the quest. And this evil guy, maybe this evil bard, it's like it's affecting his business or something like that within the town. And he just wants that guy dealt with. A lot of people want this evil guy dealt with because, yeah, they may be evil folks living in the city, but they're trying to run business here, right? It's affecting his ability to get new customers into the city to come and listen to his music as a bard, maybe. So how about this? Quest number 1 is just deal with him. And what will the results be of that, I guess? What can you get? Repel, sabotage, deceive, sabotage, extort, or entrap. What would be like a good Like what's he offering in return, right? We'll just roll twice on the monster table, and then that'll be like his what he gives if you complete the quest and return to him. Say, hey, we killed this guy. He'll grant us some coin that way. You roll on the monster table in the Dungeon Master Guide. So that'll be our quest number 1 for this guy. There, I got it written down on my little quests and rumors. So 2 are tied together at this point. So I just kind of want to deal with the, well, these are all tied together. Looking at a rumor 1 now. In the nearest hills by Graayfast City, there is an army preparing for war. Eulera Veleth, a lawful evil human, level 2 cleric, is leaving Graayfast to go and speak with the leader of this army. Eulera is a boat builder by trade and either fears that a war will damage the markets in town, or she wishes to capitalize on the situation and could be striking a deal with the party involved. Eulera is 63 years old. Is Eulera and this bard, are they in league together? So let's do a DC 15 on this. On a 16, they are in league. So this whole section of questing rumors is all tied together. So if we just go and deal with that Dragonborn with the giant ape henchman, we can clear up all of our quests we have. So that kind of works out lovely for us. However, these are 2 evil people. We drew a lawful evil and a neutral evil guy, I believe. So we're like, could be helping the side of evil more than anything. Maybe this Dragonborn's a good guy. But the evil city people are like, we got to find out why is he at war? Why is that Dragonborn male at war, right? But anyway, that's the quest. Hey, deal with this guy. I'll give you a bunch of coin if you deal with this guy. He's affecting my business. Cool, we got another quest in the book. So continuing on. They're at the tavern now, another generic tavern. They've met up with the gnomes, the gnome band, the archaeology band, who traveled with them from town here. So let's come back. I'll show you guys my setup. The Hex, the band from here, the gnome bands, right? We linked up, we traveled back to Graayfast, and now we are going to continue on to the city. So I imagine we spent the night in here. We travel around here somewhere to meet the gnomes. In that time, we met with what do you call it? That guy wanting the Dragonborn evil tyrant up here dealt with. And now we're continuing on to the King's Place. Let's do more encounter rolls. 74 is nada. 44 is nada. And finally a 4. So something, once we linked up with the gnomes and we're on our way, we have another encounter, and that's 6 rolls for the day. So we're chipping through those pretty good. Let's see what the urban encounter can be on now. So they do have 1 encounter on the way to go to the King's Palace. On a 92, they rolled, boom, boom, boom. An overturned cart ahead is causing gridlock. The street is jammed with traffic. So we have an overturned cart blocking the street. It's in the way of us. We're trying to get here. So we need to find out a reason why. I don't know the reason why, but now here's where you can utilize the verb list to flush out more of what's going on here. So story element, interaction tables. Let's come to the situation, or what's the element interaction table? Now let's go to the verb list. How to roll on the situations table. Roll a d10 to determine your hundreds. Okay, wait. You could also frame a question, then roll to get a word that might suggest an answer. Oh, okay, we could just roll once on it. Why is the cart overturned, I guess? So on a 20, wait. Oh, I'm just rolling one word, sorry. I don't need to roll that. Wasted a net 20 on nothing. A d10 I need to roll first to establish my 100s. So boom, 9 to 10 means it's in the 400s. So 448. 448 is going to be stop. Okay, it's just something stopped. Let's roll a little bit more on this. That's not giving me enough. That just means we stopped. 6, so 5 to 6 is going to be in the 200 range. 239. 239 is going to be flee. So we have stop, flee. Let's do a little bit more. I'm still not getting enough. So 5. That's going to take me, we're in the 200 ranges still, so 244. What did we have? Stop, flee, foresee. Stop, flee, foresee. And 72. Stop, flee, foresee, blame. Let me flush this out. Okay, I did roll some more because we had stop, flee, foresee, blame. I rolled one more time off camera. It was capture. We can roll one more time. I'm just struggling to come up with a story with these verbs I'm getting, and sometimes that's an issue with it, right? Playing solo. So, what was it? 6 was the 200, 208. So we'll do one more. We'll see what we come up with. Enrich. Enrich. I don't know. You know, it's kind of tricky. You got to use your imagination. Stop, flee, foresee, blame, capture, enrich. And there's a cart that tipped over. It's causing a traffic jam. I guess we could just go to the Oracle style, ask some questions. Was that overturned cart full of prisoners? We'll do a DC of what, 10? 4? No, there's no prisoners in there. Was it a merchant cart? DC 10? Yes, so it's a merchant cart. Got flipped over. That would fit with the enrich part, I guess, right? Merchant cart, enrich. Has it been looted? DC 15? Yes. Okay, so this cart got like flipped over and looted. Who knows? Maybe the city's going through some stuff here. With in regards to like that tyrant in the north, right? Maybe it's like a war-torn city. Like is the city kind of at threat with war? Nat 20. Okay, so the city, that army is like trying to attack the city and stuff like that. So maybe this is like this caravan or whatever could was it done by agents of that dragonborn? Like have the dragonborn, do they have agents within the city causing chaos? On a 6, no. Okay, is it just, are these the city folk kind of like panicking and flipping shit? 10, was my DC a 10? Might have been, we'll say yeah. So the city folk flipped this over and robbed it. Maybe they're getting rationed. Is the king of the town or the city, has he imposed rations on the city? Yes. Oh, okay. So maybe this king isn't highly favorable within the city. He's put rations on the folk to because they're at war right now, but like with whoever's in the north, that tyrant in the north, and he put rations on the people and they're not liking it, so they flipped over this merchant thing and they robbed it. Maybe it could have been like food and stuff like that. And so were we stopped by guards? DC 10, no, but it's just the crowd. I guess, can we work our way through it? We are rolling deep. We got 8 guys deep again. We got all them gnomes, right? Can we... How about... Can Golly... Let's get Golly with the charisma. Can he talk his way? Can he persuade the folks to let them pass? DC 15. Yes, 17 plus 3. There we go. We overcame that. We did find out a little bit more about the city, though. The ruler, he's put rations on the city because of the war, and the people aren't taking it very well. They're flipping shit. They're robbing shit. But we made it through. and we learned a little bit more about this world. So that's kind of fun. Now we are at the gates. Can we get in? Can we get into the gates of the king's place? We'll do a DC 15, but we got our 6 gnomes, so they're going to give us a +3 to the bonus. And then we're going to do the persuasion check, I believe. We'll do another persuasion check on this. So 9, 10, 11, 12, and then what do we say? 13, 14. Did we say a +3? I already forgot what I just said. If it's if I said a +3, we're in. Let's just get in. Let's push the narrative. Hey, sometimes you got to push your story along. All right, we're in the town. We're in there with the king, and let's go in. Let's meet this king. The guards, the gnomes. Let's say they're rolling deep. They're well known. Well, let's find out. Are the gnomes known in the? Are they employed by the king? We rolled for that before, I think. Hey. Like the king was giving out bounties, so he would know them. Yeah, so that's what we're gonna push. They know the king. They've been here before. They're recognized, and they can kind of get us in. That's why we're rolling with them. Okay, so we're gonna go in there. Just for the off chance of me just throwing this out there, is the gnome? Is the ruler a gnome? Like, is that the reason why these gnomes are off exploring? Stuff like that. Let's do a DC. We'll make it a little harder. Hey, let's do a DC of... let's do DC 15 to see if this gnome... If the king is a gnome. On a... Oh, that's a 19. Okay, well, that explains why the adventuring party is all gnomes. Maybe this is a gnome-run city. Graayfast has a gnome ruler, and these gnomes were all out exploring and stuff like that, doing his bidding. Maybe these guys were the first kind of settlers. So there's some kind of weird thing going on with this city being run by gnomes, and maybe the gnomes and the dwarves don't get along. I remember we rolled, 2 dwarves or something like that were evil or something. We rolled a couple dwarves, and they are... Maybe there's a weird tension between the gnomes and the dwarves in this city. Maybe we got that going on. I don't know. Just fishing for things. But anyway, we got a gnome. We got a gnome king, and he's gonna give us the reward, I guess. Let's flush him out on these characters a little bit more to find out some more about the king. And maybe we can come on down to the NPC generator. Let's come. We know the race already. He's going to be a gnome. Let's find out a little bit more about our king of this city. First off, is he a king? DC 15, he's a king. 2, no, he's not. So he's just democratically elected. So this is this town votes people in, votes in their rulers. So maybe they voted in this gnome, or he took power because they get gold and coin, and they run stuff that way. He's not a king. No king rules this city right now. It's just kind of like maybe a voting system. Let's find out a little bit more here. So, what kind of gnome is he? 24. It's a he. It's a male gnome. 29. Oh, it's a good gnome. On a 29, we get lawful neutral is what we get. So we have a lawful neutral gnome. So he just doesn't swing one way or the other. Profession. I guess I didn't need to roll on that. But he is an adventurer. We rolled adventurer again on the 94, so we can get a little bit more about this gnome. What was he before, I guess? What made him rise to prominence? On a 4, he was an artist. This gnome was an artist at some point, and maybe he made a bunch of money selling his art and stuff like that. Or finding ancient artwork kind of relics from the burrows or from all the ancient sites around here. And then they sell those, they make money off those and stuff like that. How about that? That's kind of fits, right? Hence why he keeps sending people to go and plunder these dungeons and ancient ruins and such, bring him these ancient relics and everything. And so we're bringing him this, the armor of gleaming. Those gnomes brought the armor of gleaming to him to help his collection, right? So that's pretty good. Let's roll on his class and tables. So a D12. What kind of a gnome is this? A 3. It's a cleric gnome. A cleric gnome. On a D20, we got a 1, so he's early level. It's going to be level 3. A level 3 cleric gnome. Good stuff. He's 1 level above us, so he could be fighting us, right? Let's roll on the economic status of this guy. So on a 6. Oh, he's foolish and idiotic. He's a foolish and idiotic leader. So maybe that's why his city is in turmoil. And then on a 29, we have, he can support himself. He's a ruler, so he's making some money. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit to write all this down so I don't forget it. Okay, so I got him written down on my little Graayfast sheet here. He's a lawful neutral gnome. He was voted in. He's level 3 cleric. He's foolish and idiotic. He has imposed rations on the city for the war with the Dragonborn in the hills. And the city, they're fighting against the rations and stuff, but do they like him, I guess? How about, let's do a yes or no. Evens, he's favored. Odds, he's not. So odds, he's not favored. The town doesn't like him. I wonder why. Has he, let's do DC 15s on these, we'll declare it. Has his expeditions to these ancient sites and stuff, have they caused turmoil within the lands? So on a 15 with a DC, it has. So maybe that's why the town doesn't like that. They keep going and disturbing these sites, and it's awakening things within the land and causing an issue. So maybe he's the problem here, right? Maybe we shouldn't really be helping this city. Maybe we have to go and get more information from the Dragonborn guy in the north. Maybe he's one of the good guys. You never know. Could be a whole William Wallace looking thing going on. So we're getting that, maybe not directly from him, but like we're getting that from our characters here. So knowing that, I don't know if I want to really ally ourselves with this guy too much. He could be ill-favored and stuff. So they're just, our party members are, does he offer us a quest for these? Does he offer like another bounty for a dungeon site? I should have declared that. So on a 14, in my head it was a 15. He doesn't really offer one right now. Does he offer the gnomes one? Yeah, so he gives the gnomes. He gives them another site. So we just like help those gnomes out. But this gnome guy has no interest in giving us, he wants to help his own people with these quests and stuff he's giving out. So he doesn't offer us the next bounty, but he gives it to the gnome party. So they're going to go and like dig up some more stuff apparently. But he's not including us in this. However, I am going to step in as like a DM, and like the bounty was promised before from these gnomes. So we're going to roll on the encounter table here. Oh no, sorry, we're gonna discover the cost of the ancient that armor, and that's the bounty we're gonna get essentially, right? Because we're not getting the armor, we have to hand up that magic armor to the gnome. But what he's gonna pay us in return is kind of the cost of that magic item, the gleaming. What was it? The armor of gleaming. It never gets dirty. What was it? We have to look it up again. So it's in the armor category. Boom, boom. I think it's like right away. Amulets, apparatus, arrow. Here we go. Armor of gleaming. Armor, any light, medium, or heavy. It's a common magic item. So what is the price of like a common magic item? Magic item, crafting time, and cost. I believe, okay, wait, let's have a look at these rules here. So crafting magic item takes an amount of time and money based on the rarity shown. What about selling? Oh, the time and costs are halved for a consumable item other than a spell scroll whose crafting time or cost are given in the player's handbook. Okay, what? If a magic item incorporates an item that has a purchase cost, such as a weapon or a suit of armor, you must also pay the entire cost or craft that item. This is for crafting, though. I don't care about the crafting. We're not crafting anything. I want to know the actual cost of it. This is the cost for crafting. So maybe it's in the player's handbook. Let's have a look for these rules. I want to know the cost of like magic, common magic items. So let's have a look here. Magic items, 232 in the player's handbook says, magic items, crafting. This is all crafting. I'm going to take a bit of time off camera here to root through these rules. Okay, so I found it. Magic item rarities and values. So for a common item, 100 gold pieces is the value. So that's going to be the reward for this particular quest. However, we're going to split that with the gnomes. They're going to get 50. We're going to get 50. We will agree on that, I believe. And yeah, so we're going to come out of this with 50 gold pieces. With, you know, we're going to split it up between Golly and Summer. So Summer's got some gold in her pocket again. Summer's back up to 25 gold pieces. And Golly's going to add 25 to his little repertoire here. So that is good. I guess the big thing now is to just find out, does the gnome know about the Dragonborn? Anything about the Dragonborn fella? No, maybe he knows they're at war with them, or no, he's foolish and idiotic, so he just wouldn't know. Maybe he doesn't even know who he's going to war with. In that case, how can we push a narrative along? At this point, we want to find out what we can do, right? Do we want to return back to the village and kind of sort some stuff out there? Do we want to head to number 9, the tomb of the frozen emperor? Or do we want to go to the Pantheon of Corruption Shrine? We have a map, but however, there's all these hexes here of armies. They got armies going to war. So how many hills? It was in the hills, right? We rolled for hills hexes. So how many hills hexes do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess you can count these, right? 5, 6. Yeah, let's count them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then maybe it looks like a hills 1, 2, 8. So there's 8. Let's roll them across so they kind of just go all here. 1, 2, 3, and then we'll go 4. Because this has some hills too. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll say there's 10 with all hills and these hexes here. So let's find out where the armies are. Like, is the army all in one hex? Let's do evens, yes. Odds, no. Odds, no. So multiple hexes. So how about this? We had 10 hexes. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's roll a d10 to find out how many hexes they're in. They're in all 10. Okay, so there's all the hill region is swarming with an army, apparently. A big army. So we need to flush out this army. I need to find out precisely how big this army is, because my rule for this kind of stuff is the population we have, that's it's 10%. You can utilize 10% of the population for a military output, right? So at this we have roughly 38,000 population in Graayfast, so 10% of that, right? So what is that, like 3,800, something like that? 38,000 people, you get 3,800 for an army. So how big is this army that's split across 10 hexes, right? Maybe it's some kind of guerrilla tactic warfare stuff going on. We have to determine who this dragonborn ape fella is doing battle with, or how big his army is. Okay, I guess just to like figure out, when I roll on these, whenever you come upon an unmarked settlement, so whenever we're traveling through these hexes here, the hills hexes, and we travel through the unmarked settlement, we're going to have to, like when I look at it, there's like encampments, there's large camp, there's stationed garrison forts, stuff like that, villages, all these things. So anytime we roll our encamped army, anytime we roll on that, it's going to be for either, I'm going to have to do another roll for like, is it for the Dragonborn or is it for the city here? And our city only has 3,800 people it can roll deep in. So what we can do is, like, anytime there's a settlement, we'll chip away at our numbers from Graayfast, as well as we don't have a set number for however many people are here. So we'll have to keep in mind we might find like a city or something as we roll in these hexes. So the only way we would figure that out is to venture north and explore. So that might be the next move for Golly and Summer, if they decide they want to go up to the Pantheon. They have a map there. To me, that would be the next big thing, is traveling to that Pantheon. It's either that or it's they come to the tomb of the frozen emperor. It's 2 hexes this way, whereas there's no gate out the north, so they'd have to come out this hex, travel down into here, and then go up. So they'd have to travel 1, 2, 3, 4 hexes to get here, whereas they could travel 3 hexes and get to the tomb of the frozen emperor. So this could end up being quicker. However, there's no map, and we run that potential of getting lost going to, if we go to the tomb of the frozen emperor. So whereas we have a map, so we wouldn't have to roll on the getting lost table. However, we would have to navigate a friggin' army going here. So I don't know if we wanna go into a war zone or anything like that. But I do want to utilize that map. We have a lot of quests. I'm curious to know what that Dragonborn's about. Is he an evil guy? Is Graayfast the bad city? We're rolling a lot of evil dudes here. Maybe Graayfast is an evil city. So we have a decision to make about where we want to go. And for now, I think I'm going to leave it. And we get our bonus from the for completing that quest. So we got a little bit of coin in our pocket. We can afford a few nights stay. I can bring back the time. Maybe they think on it for a little bit, and I can catch up their calendar with my real world calendar. So what do we have here? We have, let's travel back to the tavern. I don't know if we want to stay in the King and the Frog. Maybe it's a little expensive. What was it? Outstanding. That's 4 gold pieces a night. We could return back to the Stroppy Bollock, where it's only 1 gold piece per night. I gotta write this here price. 4 GP per. It's a little expensive for us, eh? Especially if we don't have any, that we didn't get another contract from the, that gnome fella. We could try to like loot it, explore it on those gnomes. You know, maybe what contract did he give? So what were the nearby ones? There's the Frozen Emperor and it was the Pantheon. So how about this? Evens will be the Frozen Emperor. No, so the gnomes are gonna go to the Pantheon. That's where they're heading. So who knows? Maybe we can link up with them and head north. But it's like that's their contract. But it's like let's ask them if hey, do you want to work together again? So like, hey, we helped you clear this one dungeon. Maybe you guys want to help us again for the other dungeon. And then what we'll do is we'll set up their camp outside of that shrine, and then we can utilize them for food and water again, and not have to burn through rations and camp out there that way. How about we do that? Let's ask them. I'm going to do Golly persuasion check. See if we can persuade them to help. DC of 15. Oh, 4. Yeah, that's no. They don't want none. They don't want that. They're going on their own. So let's find out, what do we want to do? What would Golly and Summer do? Does Golly want to go to the Pantheon? Let's do a DC of. Let's just do a DC or evens and odds. Evens, he wants to go to the Pantheon. Okay, what about Summer? Summer, evens, does she want to go to the Pantheon? Odds, she wants to go to the. She doesn't want to go. Does she want to go to the Tomb of the Frozen Emperor? No, she don't really give a shit. She's just there to make some coin. Golly wants to go to the Pantheon then. Okay, well that's decided. They are going to go to the Pantheon, but we're going to spend the night in the Stroppy Bollock, maybe, and get back home. Boom. Sorry, I'm doing my encounter checks. I have, what, a couple more to make? So on the way back, we're going to do 2 on the way back to the Stroppy Bollock. So 26, there's nothing. 54, there's nothing. They get back to the Stroppy Bollock, okay. And let's have them camp down there. And we're going to get ourselves maybe a little set up for some traveling, because I think we're gonna go to this shrine. We're gonna chance the hills because we have a map. So with that map, to get here, we don't have to. It's not a map of the place. It's a map to get there. So we don't have to roll for getting lost. Whereas like if we were to travel through here without the map, you would roll on a chance of getting lost. But that's where that's going to come in handy. So we are going to have to backtrack the barn mouth and then loop back down to here. So, but we're going to spend the night in the Stroppy Bollock because it's cheaper. It's a little cheaper than spending 4 gold a night, right? We got to start budgeting. We don't know when the next hit of gold is going to happen. So let's cross off the last of this day here. And that's 1 day. So I'm just going to mark this down. Let's get I'm going to use this time to get ourselves all caught up. It's the 11th. So how about this? They hang out in the city for a week. Or was it 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, 5 day, 6 day, 7 day. Let's bring it on down. 8 day, 9 days, 10 days, 11 days. So they spend 11 days in the city. He had to pay Summer. Let's get done our bookkeeping here. So he's going to pay Summer for this week, even though they didn't do anything. Maybe she protected him in the city and stuff like that. So we're going to add 7 more gold to hers. So 32 gold. So she got paid again. She's going to get paid again on Tuesday, but we're going to set off in the hills here. Golly loses 7. So he's got 70, 7 gold. They also, it's 1 gold a night for each of them, and they spent how many days? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So they spend 11 gold. Once again, Golly's going to take the bill. So 11 gold apiece, 22 minus, so he's going to be at 255 gold pieces. And I think we'll re-up some. How many rations do they have? They still have a lot of rations, right? They have 4 rations. They still have a little bit of time. He's still got some oil, so I don't think we need to buy anything for light when they go dungeon delving. 4 rations. How many rations does Summer have? Summer has, she's got a flasks of oil as well. And Summer has 11 rations. So I don't think we really need to buy rations. Oh, we do have a tent. Forgot to write that tent down. We have no rope, though. Could buy some rope before we go. We don't really have any rope we can utilize to tie somebody up or anything like that. Because we used it on the that evil map maker, and then he like escaped, so we were down a rope, right? But let's not worry about that. Okay. So they wake up. The day of the 11th, they're going to set off. They're going to backtrack through Barnmouth because you can't leave in the North Hex because I made stupid gates like that. Let's bring this down here. Let's just try to find the traveling. What's the weather like? What's the day like here? We'll get that at least set up, and then that's where I'll end the session. So on a D20, it's still summer, right, in August. It's 12th, it's clear, and it's hot. Okay, so what did we decide? On a hot day, they use twice as much water. That could be a problem, trying to find water. Because how much can they carry? Maybe I buy, but like let's say in that week we buy a couple more water skins, you know, because they have two water skins apiece, but that's only ever good for like 1 day of water. So you would think you would need more water. We could see. Maybe they just forage in the hills. Hopefully they they don't run into any issues that way. We'll see. We'll make it a little survival thing. We'll see what that mechanic does to us. We won't get any more water skins, and we'll see if like we can salvage through the hills and stuff like that. Okay, so it's a hot summer's day. They're going to use twice the amount of water, which is, their mechanic is, water needs per day 8 pints. On a hot day, it's 2 times, so they need 16 pints. Oh yeah, their water would only be good for a half day. Let's have them buy some more water skins. They'll buy enough for like the hot days. How about that? We'll give them that benefit of the doubt. That way we're not like, we can always just keep track of the water at the end of the day and be like, okay, they burned through all this water. And then we can do our ration checks, right? Because if it's like a half day and we got to be checking for water, I don't want to be worrying about that. So what I'm going to do off camera, so I'm going to have them buy some water skins. I'm going to take it off their gold and whatnot. Add them enough water skins to hold water for hot days, to have a full amount of water for a hot day. So it just makes the tracking a little bit easier. And that's where I'm going to end it. It's the morning of Tuesday 11th, hot summer day, and they are deciding they are going to the Pantheon of corruption. Has the gnomes left already? A DC 15, I was thinking. On a 14, no, they haven't. So they're hanging out still. So we might get the jump on them. You never know. Maybe we'll find them on the way back. And that's where I'm going to end this session for today, preparing us to go to the Pantheon of Corruption.